The lines of the newsletter are a bit close, so you adjust line spacing to improve the appearance and readability. Paragraph alignment selections enable you to adjust paragraph text so that it lines up on the left, right, center, or, as in this case, evenly aligned at both the left and right margins. In addition, you can increase the space shown after each selected paragraph so that it is clear where one paragraph ends and another begins. Changing the alignment of single lines of text sets them apart, drawing attention to them. Special indents, including first line, adjust the indentation of one or more paragraphs. This is often done to better identify the beginning of paragraphs, thus improving readability. You can include special indents, such as hanging or first line, by selecting from the paragraph dialog box. In addition to using the paragraph dialog box, you can also reposition an indent setting of a selected paragraph by dragging a marker along the horizontal ruler. In this case, you drag the first line indent marker.
Click and drag to select the text in the first body paragraph, beginning with, "If you enjoy taking digital pictures," and ending with, "When taking pictures, colon." On the Home tab, in the Paragraph group, click Line and Paragraph Spacing, and then click 1.15.
Yeah. Change the fuck. Let's hear about a paragraph would be anyway.
You plan to include the studio hours at the end of the newsletter, and to position them in a way to draw the attention of potential clients. Before typing the information, you clear formatting so that the text effect formatting from the line above is not carried over to the next line. You select a font type and a font size that will make your studio hours easy to read. You set a left tab at 1 inch and a right tab at 5.5 inches to accommodate the studio hours that you will type next. You modify the right tab to include dot leaders, much like those you see on a restaurant menu between a food item and its price. Dot leaders help draw a reader's eye from one item to the next. After typing Monday, leave a space before and after the dash. Dot leaders display when you type text at the right tab stop. To draw attention to the studio hours, you shade and border them. Select a border setting, line style, and border color to set apart the studio hours. In addition, shading lends a colored tint to the background of the studio hours.
In the Show group, click the Ruler checkbox to select it. On the ruler, click the tab selector 2 times to display the right tab icon. Click the 5.5-inch mark on the horizontal ruler.
At several points in the newsletter, you include either a list of items or a sequence of steps. Bullets help identify lists, while numbers are often used to delineate steps in a process. Numbering sequential items clearly identifies them as steps. When you decrease the indent, you move the numbered items to the left margin. Bullets identify lists of items that are in no particular sequence. In this case, you draw attention to factors that affect the quality of photographs. You click Decrease Indent in the paragraph group again to move the selected text to the left margin. To apply the most recently selected bullet, you simply click Bullets without specifying a bullet type. You click Decrease Indent in the paragraph group again to move the bullets to the left margin. You have begun to format a newsletter that will help publicize your new business. Using text and paragraph formatting, you improve the readability of the document. Listing studio hours in a tabbed arrangement with borders and shading helps you inform your readers of your availability. Finally, bullets and numbering draw attention to items and sequential information in the newsletter. You have made an excellent start in preparing an impressive newsletter. Newsletters are often designed to display in columns. Because the document you are developing is a newsletter, you will show text in columns. Using other document formatting features, such as document themes and header styles, you will develop an eye-catching and informative brochure that reflects well on your new business. A document theme provides color and font coordination, simplifying your design task. Note the color change applied to the second line of the document after you select a document theme. The second line of the document changes colors because you selected a new color scheme within the current theme. Most of the newsletter is formatted in columns so that it appears as a newsletter. However, a few items, such as the newsletter heading and the store hours at the end of the document, are centered horizontally across the page instead of within a column. You select only the text that is to be formatted in 2 columns. Using sections, you can format text in a document in different ways. The selected text is formatted into 2 columns and placed in a separate section. Note the continuous section break shown after the document title, indicating that the title can be formatted differently from the 2-column text beneath the section break. The section break was automatically placed in the document when you formatted selected text in columns. Because the newsletter title is not included in the two-column section, it can be centered horizontally across both columns. With the ruler displayed, indent markers, such as the first line indent, can be dragged to a new position. In this case, you determine that the first line indent is no longer needed in the first two paragraphs of the two-column newsletter, so you drag it back to the left margin in each case. Word enables you to change the view of a document, which lets you get a feel for the page flow, noting how text ends on one page and begins on another. That way, you can identify any awkward page endings, such as when a title is positioned alone at the end of a page. In this case, the newsletter appears to be well arranged.
The fuck you talking about? Stop doing that. Bro, shit. Oh, I'm gonna go get them funny.
The newsletter is improving in appearance, but the headings are not as evident as they should be. Also, some headings are subordinate to others and should be identified accordingly. Using styles, you can apply consistent formatting to page elements, even identifying heading levels. The Styles group includes common styles, such as Heading 1 and Normal. You apply Heading 1 style to major headings in the newsletter. Instead of selecting each second level heading and applying Heading 2, you press and hold Control as you select all headings that you want to apply the style to. With second level headings selected, you apply the Heading 2 style. Another way to apply consistent formatting is to use Format Painter. A couple of headings on the third page should be formatted with a Heading 2 style as well. Since text with the Heading 2 format is already selected, double-click Format Painter and select a heading that should be formatted like the current selection. You double-click Format Painter because you intend to copy the format to more than one heading. If your intent is to copy the format to only a single text selection, you would single-click Format Painter. After selecting the second heading to be formatted, press Escape to turn off Format Painter, or simply click Format Painter again. You format two additional subheadings with Heading 3 style, indicating that they are subheadings of those formatted as Heading 2. Even after a style has been applied, you can modify the style with additional formatting features. As you do so, all text that has been formatted in that style will assume the new format. You modify Heading 1 style to include a double underline. All headings previously formatted in Heading 1 style are now underlined.
Select
A style set is a combination of title, heading, and paragraph styles. Using a style set, you can format all of those elements of a document at one time. You select a style set that will color coordinate the newsletter and that will slightly modify the heading styles that you applied earlier. Changing the view to one page, you see that the format of the major headings, camera body, lens, and composition has been modified, removing the underline you set earlier. Headings now display the format of the style set you selected. You changed the font color of previously formatted text to more closely coordinate with the style set. Although pre-designed bullets are available for you to select, you can also define your own, changing the color of the bullet in this case.
No, no.
Having defined a new bullet color, you create a style from the bullet so you can apply the same bullet style to other selections. You apply the new bullet style to other bulleted areas in the newsletter. That way, you ensure that all bulleted items are consistently formatted.
Right-click the selected text, and on the mini toolbar, click the font color arrow, and then click Plum. Scroll to the bottom of page 2. Select the first bulleted paragraph, aperture/f-stop. On the Home tab, in the paragraph group, click the bullets arrow, and then click Define New Bullet. In the Define New Bullet dialog box, click Font. In the Font dialog box, click the font color arrow, and then click Plum Accent 1, Darker 20. Click OK. In the Define New Bullet dialog box, click OK. With the insertion point in the first bulleted paragraph, aperture/f-stop, on the Home tab, in the Styles group, click the Styles dialog box launcher. In the Styles pane, click New Style. In the Create New Style from Formatting dialog box, type Bullet Paragraph in the name box. Click OK. Select the 3 bulleted paragraphs below aperture/f-stop. In the Styles pane, click In the Style pane, click Close.
No. Well, it said okay, using. No, fuck, stop. Okay, you lying, bro. You lying. You gotta be fucking lying.
With the insertion point in the first bulleted paragraph, aperture/f-stop, on the Home tab, in the Styles group, click the Styles dialog box launcher. In the Styles pane, click New Style. In the Create New Style from Formatting dialog box, type Bullet Paragraph in the name box. Click OK. Select the 3 bulleted paragraphs below aperture/f-stop. In the Styles pane, click Bullet Paragraph. In the Style pane, click Close.
Now when I did that shit didn't do it.
The newsletter spans 4 pages, with headings shown at various levels of detail. By viewing the newsletter as an outline, with headings and subheadings displayed in their order of hierarchy, you can ensure that all newsletter headings are correctly identified. By viewing the document as an outline, you can select the level of detail to show. With the document in outline view, you choose to view up to 3 levels of headings. In outline view, you can drag a heading to reposition an entire section. Here, you drag one section above the previous. Selections on the Outlining tab enable you to expand or collapse the content of a selected heading. The Holiday Photography section is expanded, while other Level 1 headings remain collapsed. You now close the Outline view to go back to the Print Layout view. You improve the appearance of the newsletter, applying document formatting to several areas of the document. By applying a theme and formatting the document in columns, you focus on the newsletter's appeal and readability. Using styles, you ensure consistent formatting of document text. Finally, you check the newsletter's organization by viewing it in Outline view. As a studio photographer, you will use the newsletter to encourage future business by creating awareness of your availability and photographic skills. One of the best ways to do this is to include photographs in the newsletter that showcase your expertise in taking and correcting photos. A picture is considered an object that can be managed independently of surrounding text. You can obtain a picture online from the Bing search site, from your OneDrive account, or from your own Flickr account. You can also insert pictures that you have saved on storage media, as you do in this case. You can manage any inserted picture using options on the Design or Format tabs. Those tabs display on the ribbon when a picture is selected. Although you have inserted a picture in the newsletter, since it was shot in landscape orientation, it must be rotated so that it displays better in a newsletter column. When you click outside a picture, you deselect it. You insert a picture that you previously saved on your computer's hard drive. The picture illustrates the need to correct blurry images. To add interest to the topic, and to provide an example of holiday photography, you search for a picture using Bing search. Using ski as a keyword, you narrow your choices to those that might work for holiday photography.
Click before the depth of field heading. Click the Insert tab. In the Illustrations group, click Pictures. In the Insert Picture dialog box, double-click W02H3 Kayak.
Using Word, you can work with pictures that you place in a document, adjusting color, correcting brightness and contrast, including artistic effects, selecting picture styles and picture effects, and even cropping a picture to remove unnecessary detail, as you do here. Cropping does not actually reduce the size of the picture or remove any parts. It simply enables you to identify the picture area you want to display. The crop indicator consists of dark, thick lines around the selected picture. Word's Picture Styles Gallery includes a wide range of styles you can easily apply to a selected picture. Word is capable of basic image editing tasks, such as correcting the brightness and contrast of a selected picture. If a picture includes a clearly identifiable background, such as the ski picture in the newsletter, you can instruct Word to remove the background. It is not always possible for Word to identify a background, however, as would be the case for a very detailed or cluttered picture with no expanse of color in the background.
With the picture selected, on the Picture Tools Format tab, in the Picture Styles group, click More, and then click Soft Edge Rectangle Picture Style, which is in the second row, first column.
Is a feature that modifies text to include special effects, including colors, shadows, gradients, and 3D effects. It is often used for single lines, such as newsletter headings or titles of flyers. Text that is formatted as word art is considered an object that can be managed independently of surrounding text. You format the first line of the newsletter to include word art that complements the color scheme of the newsletter. By selecting top and bottom text wrapping, you ensure that the word art newsletter title remains on a line by itself. The newsletter is complete. You preview the document to get an overall look at page flow and placement of objects within the text. You include pictures in the newsletter to reinforce topics and to provide visual appeal. By including objects such as pictures, text boxes, and word art, You produce an attractive newsletter that you hope reminds the reader of your availability and photographic skill.
Uh,
Select the text Basics of Photography on page 1. Click the Insert tab. In the text group, click WordArt, and then click Fill, Plum, Accent Color 1, Shadow, which is in row. Select the text Basics of Photography. Click the Insert tab. In the text group, click WordArt.